Hi, my name is Vella, and I'm here to talk to you about corporate tax law and policy. This course is suitable for students taking the BCL, the MJUR, and the MLF programs. Corporate tax issues have hit the headline time and again over the past few years. Some of you might have seen, for example, news reports that companies were able to pay very little tax in the countries in which they operate because of the way they structure their tax affairs. A news report, for example, reported that Facebook paid only £4,327 in UK corporate tax in 2014. You may also have seen a number of news reports which followed a series of leaks which took place over the past few years, including Panama Papers and LuxLeaks. Many stories came out of these leaks, but one of the stories was that a number of countries were willing to offer what were called sweetheart deals to certain multinational companies. And as a result of these so-called sweetheart deals, these companies could reduce their tax liabilities considerably. You may also have seen, just in the past few days, a news report that President Trump lashed out at France after France introduced a new tax on certain highly digitalized businesses. Of course, he did that because the tax would largely fall on US companies. So corporate tax issues have been in the spotlight in recent years. They've been subject to considerable media, but also public attention. And as a result of that, they have been subject to increasing political attention. In fact, I would say that corporate taxation has risen right to the top of the international political agenda. Concerns over the fact that multinationals were able to shift their profits to low-tax jurisdictions and therefore pay a little tax in the countries in which they operated have led over the past 4 or 5 years to a significant reform of the international corporate tax system, and concern that the existing international tax system cannot really deal with the challenges posed by the digitalization of the economy have led to a new program of reform which is currently undergoing and which might lead in the next year or two to even further reform. Taken together, this reform will be the most significant reform of the international corporate tax system for over 100 years. Now, will this reform lead to an international corporate tax system that is fit for purpose? That I don't know. But to answer this question, one needs to combine a detailed understanding of tax law with an understanding of economic concepts which are necessary for good tax policy design. And this is exactly what this course seeks to offer you. It combines a rigorous analysis of tax law with an understanding of concepts drawn mainly from economics, but from other disciplines too, which are necessary for good tax policy design. This course is divided into two. In the first part, we look at corporation tax in a domestic setting. And therefore, in this part, we will look at issues such as how to define the corporate tax base, how to tax small businesses, how to tax groups of companies, the tax consequences of corporate finance decisions, and tax avoidance. We will look at these issues at a general level, but we will also use the UK as a case study throughout. In the second part of the course, we will examine corporation tax in an international setting. And here we will start with some of the foundation blocks of the international corporate tax system before moving on to more advanced and topical issues. These will include the OECD's base erosion and profit shifting reform package, as well as the recent reform options being considered to deal with the challenges posed by the digitalization of the economy. This course is suitable to students who have never studied tax before, but it is also suitable for students who have studied tax before. We will start at an introductory level, but then we will move on, as I've just explained, to more advanced and topical issues. This course should attract students with different interests and preferences. It should attract students who are interested in and attracted by doctrinal black letter law, because we will look at statute and case law throughout the course. But it should also attract students who are interested in policy questions, the big policy questions around taxation. These could include, for example, should we tax companies at all? Does fairness have any role to play when designing an international corporate tax system? The course should also be of particular interest for those who are interested in economic research and analysis. From a practical perspective, the course should be of interest to those who are obviously going to pursue a career or intend to pursue a career in tax law, but also to anyone who's interested in pursuing a career in broader corporate or financial law areas. I will be teaching the course with a number of other teachers. First and foremost, I will be teaching the course with my colleagues from the law faculty, Glenn Latzenheiser and Zilit Dagan, but we will also have distinguished lecturers from outside of the law faculty on this course. I'll mention three here. One will be Michael Devra, who is one of the world's leading public finance economists working on corporation tax at this point in time. A second is Richard Collier, a former partner at PwC and one of the world's leading experts on transfer pricing and other issues in international taxation. And Philip Baker QC, arguably the UK's leading international tax barrister. And Philip has been involved in many of the most interesting international tax cases that took place in recent years, including, for example, the Apple state aid case which the EU Commission brought against Ireland. Given everything that's been going on, there really has never been a more exciting time to study corporation tax. The subject is very helpful and very useful to know in practice, but if you take the course, I'm sure you will find that it is a subject which is very intellectually stimulating, it's intellectually fascinating, but it also has very real and significant policy, real-world consequences. Thank you very much.